So today I will be reading Complicity Chapter 2. The last thing I remember from Chapter 1 is some girl was annoyed with Niall because he did something. I don't really remember, but that's all I remember. I don't remember what it is, sorry, but that's all I remember. Okay. Alright, Chapter 2. Hi, sucker. Fuck, I missed you extra tonight. I'm at the bar again sober. It's really getting sad at this point. It's not the fact I missed the feeling of being drunk. I just missed the feeling of being with you. If you were here next to me, I wouldn't crave alcohol. All I would be thinking about is you. Even if you were drunk off your face, I would love to just take care of you. You would be a sloppy mess right now, almost like that time at the carnival where you nearly shoved a corn dog down my throat. Remember that? I do. It was a long time ago at this point. Our lives together were complicated from the start, but the time just felt easy. Maybe it's because I didn't know what to expect between us. We were so casual friends, I think I said once. I guess it's just a term for friends with benefits. Let's just be honest, we were never friends with benefits. Even the first time we had sex, it was so intimate. I kissed you the same night. That was the most intimate thing I could ever do with someone. I miss kissing you. What I would give to just kiss you right now. Of course, I miss fucking you too, but the kissing is what breaks me to think about. Kissing was always more intimate than sex. The time we would passively make out during sex was probably the most devoted I've ever felt to you. If I shut my eyes, I can still feel the shape of your lips. They're hard to forget, Angel. I hope I never forget. I hope the memories don't fade the longer we spend apart. What if I grow old and forget what your lips ever felt like? Well, people forget everything, don't they? I don't think I want to grow that old without you. It's only 1:45 and I'm sitting at the bar alone writing about you. I just come here to keep up an appearance to the guys. If I stay hidden in my room 24/7, then they would worry about me. I don't want them to worry. I'm fine as long as I can write to you and pretend it's a conversation. I'm fine. Writing all of this makes me excited to see you again. It gives me hope. Fuck, I'm really obsessed with you, aren't I? Hey, an arm swings over my neck, taking me out of my entry. Now usually smells thicker around this time. It's the blonde over their hat, or am I just really drunk? Leave me alone, I say under my breath. Just take a quick look, he says, into my ear. Where? 6 o'clock, he states in direction. I quickly peek for him, seeing the blonde girl sitting with her two friends and looking this way at the two of us. I barely give her a glance as my eyes start back down to the journal in front of me. Looks like your type, I mutter, while gliding my pen on the paper. You barely looked, he complains. Come on now, aren't you supposed to be my wingman? I've never agreed to that. I shake my head. So you did. Oh shit, he mumbles. What? They're coming over here. I shut my book and go to stand up off the bar stool and need to exit. I'm leaving. He shoves me back down by the shoulders, making me sit. Just relax for a second and be social for once. I shoot my head up at him, standing next to me, shouting between my teeth. Nah. Need some company, I hear a female say on my left. I turn my head to see a swarm of 3 women standing next to me, eyes all down in a stare of spite, intoxication. I turn my head to Niall standing on the other side of me, giving me a cheeky grin. Now I take my journal off the table. I was just leaving. Where are you going? The blonde asked as I stand up straight. I have to step around the store to get out, but she rocks me with her body right before I do so. My eyes shoot down to hers. They're blue like ravens. I clench my teeth, keeping my mouth shut as her chest nearly touches mine. Home, I say, clenching the journal down to my side. Remember how easily annoyed I get with people even. She smiles through her glossed lips, eyes trailing to my neck before back to my eyes. Can we come with? She invites herself and her friends. We're quite the party. No. Yes, you all can now. cuts me off with his arm swinging over my shoulder. No, I repeat. Well, why not? She pouts because you're not, but hey, just going through a breakup, don't mind. He's just going through a breakup, don't mind him. Now cuts me off, looking down at the girl who is still giving me eyes like I'm playing some sort of game with her. A breakup? Seriously now? I'm so sorry, she frowns. Don't be, it's not a breakup. No? No, I shake my head, so if you'll excuse me. Where is she tonight then? She persists. I'm making this further conversation with me, ignoring the fact I'm clearly not interested and I'm only talking because she's blocking my way. I don't really feel like having to body check the chick in order to get out. Between her and now, I'm trapped. I go silent because I don't know the answer. She smirks and pops her eyebrows, crossing her arms from my silence. Interesting, she says to herself, looking at her friends around her. Seems like a breakup to me. I can tell this girl is used to getting what she wants. She's pretty done up in a way you can tell, cost money, and has a very assertive attitude. This is exactly the type of person I don't want to talk to. I'm already annoyed. I turn my head to now, blocking my exit from behind, grinning to himself like he thinks I'm enjoying this. I forgot I could body check him. I shove him out of the way with my shoulder and pace off through the bar before anyone had a chance to stop me. Rolling my eyes to myself, I shove the journal in my hoodie pocket and hold it securely with both my hands. Quickly, I pace through the bar with my head down. I'm tired of this bullshit. Abe now loves to play this game with me, and I'm not sure why. Anytime there's a girl around, he tries to get me to make a move on them. It's kind of fucked, don't you think? He knows I'm devoted to you, even if we're not physically together. Getting with another girl would feel like cheating. I'm not going to cheat on you. I mean it when I say you're all I want, Eve. Yeah, of course, I'm horny all the fucking time, but that's just my life now. Fucking a random in the bathroom isn't going to fix that feeling. It will only make me feel worse. I only want you. I have not met a single woman like you since we've been apart. And Niall doesn't seem to understand that I don't want to meet anyone else, just like how I don't want to drink. Every day he tests me more and more. It's like he's wanting me to fail. He wants me to go back to doing his drinking buddy and for it to refuse him. That's exactly it. It just goes to show he doesn't care about me and what I'm trying to do. He just wants me to be reckless with him. I'm getting sick of it. Hey, I feel a hand on my shoulder right as I was about to leave. I lift my head and see Lewis with a serious look on his face. I haven't seen him all day. I didn't even realize he was here. Where have you been, Afro? We need you now, he ignores my question. What? I stopped myself when I realized what he meant, nearly forgetting the patrol. I turned my head and scanned the room. Where is Liam? I asked under my bathroom already, Lewis nods. With that, we both hurried back through the bar in the direction of the bathroom with my hand still in my pocket. I paced through with a sense of urgency, approaching the bar again. I see Niall in the same spot. As much as I don't want to interact with him, I need you right now. Stamping up beside him, I grab his shoulder and whisper in his ear from behind, Spotted. A single word is all I have to say for him to take himself out of this conversation and come with us to the bathroom. Excuse me, ladies. He turns around and walks with us to the men's room. My eyes start around for anyone watching as the three of us unanimously strike past the bar and into a short hallway where the bathroom and back exit is. Right as I get to the green door, I flip around and push it open with my back. The three of us bombard into the small graffiti men's room where Liam has a man nailed to the wall by his vest. Well, look at this. I smile obsessively at the sight. The door shuts behind us as we all follow our patrol. Lewis locks the bathroom door while Niall checks under the two stalls to make sure no one else is here. I walk over to the stranger. Liam keeps pinned against the dirty tiles, a smile staring on my face. I propped my elbows against the wall and leaned my head in my palms, smiling at the stranger entering his personal space. I knew it was V4. The man jumbles with his words as he catches a glimpse of all four of us. You're the band that disappeared almost a year ago. Are we, I pray along, grinning to his right. The officer being hunted for drug smuggling and robbery. I laugh and turn my head to Liam. Where'd you find him? He was staring at me funny from across the bar. I knew the minute I made eye contact that he knew something, he explained while still white-knuckling the victim's hoodie. I formed my lips into an O and exhaled, shaking my head and looking at the man again. Not smart of you. Look, I won't say anything, just let me go. He gets desperate. They always get desperate when they realize the odds aren't in their favor. 4 against 1 never looks great. Now I waved him over to swap. Now rose his tongue along his bottom lip, the temptation of mischief in his eyes. Liam haged to let go of the man. Now stands in front of him, keeping his hands down by his side, while touching chest to chest against the victim. They were about the same height, but Niall showed more intimidating than him. You can tell in the guy's eyes that he wasn't the alpha in this stare-down. What's your name? Niall asks. Patrick. He hesitantly stumbles out. Is that the truth? Niall tilts his head to the left. Yes, he nods. Niall suddenly pulls out the man's wallet he retrieved without him knowing, tossing it over his head so Liam catches it. Liam opens the wallet, reading the driver's license. Apparently his name is Freddie King. He smiles at Bertie, who had a shocked look on his face, obviously having no idea when Niall even snatched his wallet within this 10-second greeting. Why did you lie? Niall asked. He lives on 19th Street. Liam continues to read, taking his license out before tossing me the wallet. I opened up the brown letter and started going through his cards. Credit cards, help cards, everything. Liam, you're good at remembering numbers, right? I have a photogenic memory. Here, I toss him 2 credit cards. Engrave those in your head. I keep flicking through the cards. Well, Brady, you're an organ donor. How nice. I see you have a photo of either a girlfriend or a sister in here. Has to be girlfriend now, adds Rose, suddenly pulling out Bernie's phone. He swiped, showing me the same picture as his lock screen, because it's kind of weird if it's his sister. How'd you get my phone? Bertie reaches forward to grab it, but Niall was too fast to stretch it back, while pressing his forehead to his throat, nailing him back against the wall. I have your watch too. It's already in my pocket, though. Niall murmurs his lack of interest while typing up, swipe open his phone. Brady looks at his wrist to see his watch is gone. What the fuck? What's your passcode, Brady? Niall asks. Fuck you, he spits. Niall suddenly holds the screen up to Brady's face so that Face ID unlocks the phone before he could even blink. He swipes the phone successfully open and tosses it over his shoulder to Liam. You fucking, what dirt does Brady have to hide? Liam taunts while I'm still going through his wallet. You carry $300 in cash. What an idiot. I laugh while taking it out of the letter and shoving it in my pocket. I mean, he also flashes around the gold watch now, laughs while letting go of him, turning around and continuing to look at the wallet with me. We know this guy wouldn't bolt without his stuff, so we'll give him some space. What do you guys want? I said I wouldn't say anything. Who's Tamara? Liam smirks while looking through his phone. My girlfriend. From these texts, it seems like Claudia is your girlfriend. I start to laugh at this guy's bad luck. You're cheated too, like hackers. Shall we tell Claudia about Ashley? Liam says in mischief. No, Brady protests. Well, of course she would say no, fuckface. Now, Satch, we weren't asking you. Listen, you guys made your point now. No, you fucking listen. I stop the jokes and pull out the gun from my jeans, pointing it at his brain. While taking 3 steps forward, the color drains from his face. His hands rise in surrender, shaking. We now know everything about you, Brady, enough to ruin your pathetic little life. So if you say one word about seeing us here tonight, we'll be sure to pay a visit to your home and your girlfriend and your side peach to lodge a bullet through someone's throat. Clear? He nods frantically in a way you know he's about to shit his pants. If you have any idea of why we're running, then you should know what we're capable of. I suggest you walk out of here and find a new bar to start hanging out at, because believe me, you really don't want us seeing your face again. I make clear. Speechless, he just stares at the gun still pressed to his forehead. I pull the gun down, turning my head back to the other three. You good? The three of them nod, ready to head out. I turn back to Brady and flip the gun in my hand, so I hold the barrel instead. In one powerful motion, I strike his temple with the handle of the bulky gun, making his head shoot to the side and blood fly. He stumbles a few steps from the impact while I chuck the gun back in the waist of my jeans. I grab his collar with both hands again, holding him up straight and slamming his back against the wall. His feet almost reach the gun by how hastily I hold him up. His drooping eyes meet mine, blood pouring down the side of his head before I bind him with my fist. I don't stop from there, winding him with a hit to the stomach and another to his face. He grunts and falls weak to even try to fight me off. When she collapsed to the floor with a bloody nose and mud covering his teeth, I stop. He coughs to himself on the bathroom floor while I aimed back my knuckles to see if I split them. I did. Blood covers my fist yet again. You got the watch? I ask now. Yeah, we'll get a pretty penny for this one. He nods while looking at it. I look back down at Brady sitting against the wall, panting through the pain I caused. I crouch down in front of him. Brady, I lightly tap the side of his face twice so he stays conscious. His eyes open to me, smiling at him. Remember, going to the police about this isn't going to do much when we've been fooling them for months now, understand? He breathes heavily with the blood rolling down the side of his head and spilling from his mouth, but within all that, he slowly nods. I smile. Go get that nose checked out. I'm pretty sure I felt something crack against my fist. I smack the side of his arm before standing up again. I step over Brady and unlock the bathroom door, pulling it open and walking out. Everyone else follows as we head back toward the bar where Des glances over at us, pouring someone a drink at the same time. She knows it's never good when all four of us emerge from the bathrooms. She sighs while watching us walk out of the hallway, knowing what we just did, considering it happens quite a lot. We walk to the bar stools, our heads shaking back and forth. We still got those disinfectant wipes. I lean over on the counter, looking down at my split knuckles covered in blood. She glances at me while making a drink for the guy next to me. You know where they are, she says under her breath, definitely annoyed. Thanks. I push off the counter and walk towards the employee's only door on the other side of the counter. Now files, William, and Rose continue off into the bar to what they were doing before. Don't touch my shit back there now, Des shouts. He grins at her while I push through the door to the back room of the bar. Now following, the first thing my eyes take in is the brew from the brew LEDs, drowning out the entire vibrancy. It's a small room with two couches, a coffee table, a fridge, cabinets, a desk with all her paperwork, a small bathroom, a door that leads to the inventory, and another that leads upstairs to the laundromat. The walls are plastered with old posters, and there's always the scent of a cigarette smoke from one burning in that crystal ashtray. This is for employees only, but we come back here a lot, especially after I beat someone's face in. Now always likes to stick around in here too, going through his shit and helping himself to whatever drinks or snacks she has. I head straight to the small single bathroom, stopping in and opening up the sink mirror that doubles as a medicine cabinet. Through all the bottles of various pills, I pull out the first aid kit I can use to clean my cuts. I'm trying to stop scaring my skin, Eve. I used to never clean the cuts on my knuckles. Now I do because I feel like you would be proud of me for taking care of my skin. It's the little steps. I pull out the rusty kit that's probably expired, opening on the sink counter and digging through for ointments and bandages. At the same time, Niall walks in. He stares over my shoulder in this really small bathroom. He's chewing something. Did she refill his Xanax? He digs through the medicine cabinet, reading all the labels. She told you to stop stealing her anxiety meds, I say while being preoccupied with the first aid kit. Then why does she keep letting me back here? He chuckles while grabbing the prescription. Plus, I have anxiety too. I shake my head while washing the blood off my hands first, the red stained knuckles washing down the skin from my throbbing knuckles. You want one? He pops off the cap. You have anxiety, don't you? I'm fine, I decline, shutting off the tap. Wham, he mutters under his breath, taking one of the pills in his mouth and swallowing it dry. I open the alcohol swabs and start cleaning the cuts on my knuckles. Stinging, I disinfect the bruising wounds, while Niall puts the bottle back in the cabinet. How much do you think Mr. Brady's watch is worth? He pulls it out. I shrug while bandaging up my fist. Imagine it's a few grand, he continues. There's probably can ballpark it in price, I know. Yeah, you think she'll take it to the pawn shop tomorrow? Not after she finds out you stole one of her meds again. I concentrate on my knuckles. Oh my god, enough with that. He rolls his eyes and walks out of the tight bathroom. I finish bandaging my knuckles before putting the kit back in the cabinet. I'm gonna have to buy her new materials, considering I've used them on a daily. I shut the medicine cabinet to catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, not looking that long before walking back out into the blue-lit room. Niles bent over Ded's desk, shining the desk light on the watch. I walk over next to him, so we're both looking down. What are you doing? Trying to see if this is real gold, he says in concentration. And shining in Dara, store desk light on it is going to do that. Shut up, he mutters. I roll my eyes and walk back over to the center of the room. Right at the same time, Sky arrives around the corner from the steps that connect to the laundry mat upstairs. She speeds through with fresh makeup and a new outfit, unlike the towel from earlier. Hey, douchebag, she greets while smacking the back of Niles' head in her quick passing. He turns to the direction she's reading, holding the back of his skull from the aggressive hit. Boom, you got it, he shouts back in frustration. Did that quickest 15 seconds of my life, Niall. She pushes through the swinging door that connects to the busy bar, not giving him the time to rebuttal. I nearly choked in humor but contained myself. Niall picks up on my reaction and sends me joggers. I forget they hooked up once. Fuck off, he rolls his eyes. 15 seconds. I smoke while grabbing the abandoned half-smoked cigarette out of the ashtray on the coffee table. I put it between my lips and decide to kill it off. She's exaggerating. He walks over to the fridge and opens it up, bending down to rim its fill. Never you stayed, champ. I chuckle in sarcasm, blowing out smoke. Those pushes through the door, eyes going right to Niall in her fridge. Get out of there, she barks while pacing over to her desk in search of something. Dad, he shoots up straight and shuts the fridge, walking over to her and pulling out the watch. Look what we got. She digs through her papers while Niall reads her back against the same desk. Holding out the gold watch, she barely glances at it while still digging through her stuff. Is there another dude lying unconscious in my men's room? She asked instead. I only hit him a couple of times, he shrugs. Yeah, like 3 at most, I mumble through a cigarette between my lips. Okay, well, I'd rather you guys stop beating all my customers. I got a business to run, she says while digging through her papers. This guy kinda sucked anyway. He also cheats on his girlfriend. I tried to rationalize. There's always some sort of excuse, isn't there? She murmurs under her breath, standing back up straight with a paper in her hand. Can you take this to the pen shop tomorrow? Niall holds out the watch. She gives it a longer glance this time. Leave it on the desk and see if I can swing by tomorrow. She walks past him and through the door. That's why I love you, Niall smiles. Yeah, whatever. She storms out of the room to attend back to her busy bar, the door swinging in exit, and stop taking my Xanax, she shouts from the other side. Niall furrows his brows and looks at me from across the room. How the hell did she know? I firm my lips in a line and shrug. You're pretty predictable. Am I? He sounds offended. I shake my head for the same exit, ready to go home now. I make my appearance long enough for everyone not to worry about me. Now I can go to bed. Now it's pissed me off enough and I beat someone's face in, so on my books that's enough to call it a night. I shove my hands in my hoodie pocket and push into the crowded bar. Head down, I walk past the counter to where Des pours drinks and catches my exit. Heading out, she slips in as I pass. I nod. I'll see you around. Take the back exit. The front is packed tonight, she suggests. I walk toward the front exit of the bar, seeing the red door constantly being opened and closed with swarms of people. I listen and head toward the bathroom hallway again. It's better to just leave out the back tonight. I nod to her before disappearing in the brick hallway and making a left out the steel door. Fresh air fills my lungs, mixed with the light sounds of pattering rain, collecting in powerful puddles of this alleyway. I turn my head left and right to see no one around. I walk out in quick strides. I head to the front of the building, emerging into the street. I hear conversations from people hanging out around the bar, people laughing and shouting. I cross the empty road to Mayor's closed restaurant. Instead of going through the front entrance, I go around the alley next to it. That takes me to a side door. Once there, I pull out my keys and unlock the heavy rusted door to get in. Opening it up, I enter the restaurant kitchen. I slip inside and lock it beside me. Passing the clean stove and fires, I walk into the inventory room to where the door to our basement apartment stands on the end. It's a heavy steel door that looks pretty creepy. I unlock it blindly in the dark, opening it up to the long flight of wooden stairs going down into the abyss. I flick on the light and step down while shutting and locking the door beside me. My feet bump the old wooden slabs as I walk down into the living room. The floor turned to concrete that matches the walls. I flick on another switch that feeds more light into my eyes and overviews the empty apartment. I love when no one else is here. It's so quiet. The apartment is very small, but it exceeds what it's needed for. After all, we have 3 bedrooms. I kick off my shoes and pace through the makeshift living room that has a rug, a couch, and a coffee table. Now start all these things, and we still have no idea that stuff is even brand new. He managed to steal a bloody couch from an actual furniture store. The world truly is his oyster. I walk to the door at the end, opening it up to the dark room with nothing but a small lamp turned on my bedside. We don't have windows down here, so I typically leave it on 24/7. I take the journal out of my pocket and toss it on the bed to the right of the small room. From there, I empty my pockets, keys, cash, and gun. I stick them all on my nightstand. I peel off my sweater and pull down my jeans, taking them off and discarding both articles on my chair. My concrete walls grow from the lamp, making all the pictures be seen. My one wall is plastered with pictures and notes I've taken over my few months here in New York, all to do with her. The wall across is covered with the same thing but a desk to where I keep track of the days. My eyes catch the time on the bedside clock, 12:43 a.m. I'm exhausted. If it was up to me, I'd be lying in bed by 9. It used to be such a night owl, but that's when I used to have fun. I used to never sleep. The nights were what I looked forward to the most because I was usually high drunk and struggling myself with a woman. That night used to be the only time I checked out of the problems in my life. Now the nights are the hardest if I don't have something to occupy my mind like drugs or sex, but thanks to you, I have the perfect thing to substitute something better. Your journal. I read it every night when I go to sleep. I look forward to it all day, reading your words and being reminded of a time you were so deeply in love. It hurts to read sometimes, but it's bittersweet. Your words have really got me through this time, Angel. I crawl up to the pillow of my small twin bed, crashing down on my stomach for a moment. My eyes shut, my cheeks against the pillow, and facing the warm lamp. I take my hand under the pillow until I feel the warm leather spine. From there, I pull it out and flip onto my back. Once lying flat on my back, my eyes meet my reflection on the roof. The body mirror nailed to the ceiling captures my entire bed. I stare into my own eyes for a moment, lying in my t-shirt and boxers on the mattress. Eventually, I turn on my side. I pull a mirror on the ceiling, crazy light. I made the decision a while back when we first started living here. As you know, Abe, I don't like mirrors, and I never will like mirrors, so I put one over my bed so it forces me to get up in the morning. It's not like I'm ever lying topless in bed, so the concept of this isn't that bad. But I still get uncomfortable when I'm looking at my reflection for too long. There used to be days on end I wouldn't leave my bed. The thought of losing you being too much for my body to properly function. So I made this choice, very proactive of me and not something I would have done a year ago. But I think you would be proud of me for doing something like this. Thanks to this mirror, I get out of bed every morning. I slide my legs under the blanket and stay laid on my side, opening Aiden's journal. I flip through the pages until I find a joyous spot I could live through again. Chicago. What a night, Harry. My pram worked. I snuck us into the orchestra. I've never done something like that before, but I felt so alive. We sat on the floor of the magazine listening. You were at peace. My heart couldn't handle it. I saw a new side of you, the one that gave me a glimpse of your past. When we had shut your eyes and listened to the violins, I understood what you looked like as a boy. You love classical music, and God, that makes me feel things for you. How do you do that? Do what? Make me feel things when you talk. The exchange is buried in my head, Harry. The way you stared so deeply into my eyes when confessing such things, I've never felt so lucky to be with you in that moment. Hours before, you had me jumping off roofs and slow dancing in a room full of rich men. It was full of ups and downs, but it was a beautiful night. I'll never forget that night. I never forget how I felt when you called me beautiful in my red dress, and how you gazed down into my eyes while we had our first dance. Most importantly, I'll never forget the look of hope you kept in your eyes while mouthing the word sucker to me. You gave me the bravery to run across that roof and jump. Without your confidence in me, I never would have done it. I conquered something big that night, jumping off the roof. And as we entered our night in the hotel room, you conquered something big too. You had taken off your shirt for the first time with me in the dark. I didn't see you, I promise, but I felt you in my spirit, Harry. The real connection I felt with you that night was nothing I've ever experienced. Tangled in the sheets, it was so full of emotion. I saw many sides of you that night, all because you were taking a chance on being bearable. I'll never forget our night in Chicago.